Hello everyone, hello, welcome to another edition of Daily Blues here on 100% Chelsea. All the latest news and rumours to do with Chelsea Football Club. As I said, no longer about transfers. Today we've got Daniel and Louis. Tony is set to come in within the next few minutes, so do stay tuned. However, just to let all of you know, it will be a quick 20-minute Daily Blues today, no more. But it's also a bit of an experiment because I want to ask you guys, do you guys prefer the long Daily Blues of beyond an hour, or do you prefer it if it was shortened a little bit? Let us know in the comments and we will go along with what all of you think. But you guys can say hello. Say hello.
Guys, how you doing?
Right, awesome. Now, what we're going to focus on for the next 20 minutes or so is on Mourinho and the stat that was mentioned on yesterday's Daily Blues, which was 25% of Chelsea fans that were surveyed recently in a poll believe that Mourinho won't last beyond this season. Now, I don't know what you guys think about that, but personally, I don't think that's true. I think he'll stay for the long term this time. And I really want to get this message across in terms of what Chelsea fans really think of Mourinho. You know, for the other fans, the non-Chelsea fans, let's give them the image of what we really feel about Mourinho. Let's start off with Daniel. What's your perception of Mourinho, and do you think he'll stay on beyond the end of this season?
I hope so. I mean, of course, we haven't made the best start to the season that we would have hoped to have made. There it is. We would have hoped to have made to the start of the season, but no, I think he'll get it together this season. Just on my kind of feelings towards Mourinho, I think he is such a key part of Chelsea's history in recent times, especially, and he kind of embodies what Chelsea kind of is. You know, this kind of tactical kind of winning mentality that he's brought into the club. And one comment I heard, I can't remember who it was, about saying that, well, when Arsene Wenger leaves Arsenal, he'll leave a legacy. And people said, well, Jose Mourinho will never leave that. And I completely disagree with that. Because when he left in 2008, or sorry, seven, when he left, he did leave that mentality. He did leave that legacy that got us to the Champions League final that year. You know, and with a manager who really was just not was not experienced enough to be in that position. He left that mentality to players like Frank Lampard. I mean, I don't think Frank Lampard, as good as he was, would have become the player he was without Jose Mourinho. And Frank Lampard has come out and said that himself. I think JT, and most players that play with Jose Mourinho all say the same thing. They say he improves them as a player. He gives them the story I love of Frank Lampard especially is the one where he says that Jose Mourinho came up to him in the summer of 2004 when he started at Chelsea and came up to him and said, "You're the best player in the world." And that kind of, from there, that kind of grew his confidence. And you just, the tactical kind of nous of him and the way, how methodical he is and the way he adapts to each game, the legacy he left when he just, I think it was a massive part of why we won the Champions League. You know, that is the Mourinho blueprint and the winning mentality. So I think he's an absolutely massive part. For me, there is no better manager in the world. But that's my opinion on it. I love Jose and I hope he stays for 10 to 15 years because I think he really can build a bigger legacy and add on top of that something that hasn't, a Champions League with Chelsea, more trophies and just the winning mentality he brings, but also something which he's never done, which is bring through youth at a top club, and I think that's his big mission this time.
Oh, well, that is totally true. Tony, hello mate.
Hello buddy,
good to have you on. I hope you're alright. Are you feeling alright?
Yeah, I've been rough all day, mate, to tell you the truth, yeah. But,
hope you're well.
Thanks, buddy. Cheers, mate.
But, you know, we're basically discussing Mourinho. You know about the stat we mentioned yesterday, 25% of Chelsea fans surveyed believe he won't last beyond this season. The question is, do you think, what's your perception of Mourinho, you know, as a Chelsea supporter? That's what I want to try and get across to the non-Chelsea fans, of what we really think of Mourinho, and do you think he'll last beyond this season as well?
Well, first and foremost, I think the majority of Chelsea fans, I would suspect, probably think exactly the same thing as myself. We love him. He epitomises everything that's Chelsea. It's a perfect match in every respect. You know, he basically, when he come to the club, I mean, we knew he was he was one of us, all right. You know, he's got that sort of a little touch of arrogance, but you know, I believe, you know, confidence is everything in life.
It's swagger.
That's why people. It's almost like if someone's confident, right? It comes across. Everyone's perception seems to be, oh, he's arrogant. He's, you know.
Yeah.
But it's confidence, and confidence is absolutely everything. You know, he believes, and he makes us believe, and it's for me, it's a marriage made in heaven. But I've always maintained that, unlike before. Well, I actually felt, I think it was the Rosenborg game, wasn't it? The last game. I remember sitting in the stands that day, and I'd actually, even a couple of games before that, I think it was Fulham we played, and I actually felt, you know, that was going to happen. So it wasn't a shock. But I think at that time he had sort of almost massive ambitions, didn't he, to go overseas and manage in different countries and prove himself as a person. And why not, you know? But he always said, even when he left, you know, don't rule out that I might not return.
Yeah.
You always felt that, you know, Chelsea was a special club for him, and we love him. And he's almost untouchable in a way, really, because I think he's the only person that can actually come out and criticise us all. And we'll take it. We'll take it on the chin. Fair enough, Jose. You know, actually, what he was saying wasn't wrong. You know, so I don't think this is. You know, I've seen the report. I think I brought it up the other day. 25% say he's not going to last. They don't see him last until the end of the year. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I can understand why some people say that, because if you look at his history in terms of man management, he does tend to wobble a bit on the third year, and it's almost like, right, I've done that, I've achieved that, now I'm off to my next thing. But this is a much more longer term situation. Even in his first press conference, not the first time, the second time, it was a much more calmer Jose, wasn't it? Look, I'm back, I'm home.
Mature.
I love this place. I love the fans. I love the club. I love the area. My wife is settled. My family is settled. My children are settled. This is a long-term situation. So I don't think it's time to panic in any way. You know, I think had he not signed that four-year deal with all that's been going on, you might have a little sort of doubt in the back of your mind. You know, and think, I don't know. You know, but no, I'm hoping. I'm pretty convinced this is a long one, you know. But I'm hoping there's a good 10 or 12 years where, you know, he can leave a legacy. It did, like I think Dan just said, first time around, really. But no, I think this is a long-term situation, buddy. Don't worry about this one.
Awesome, Louis.
I completely agree. Tony just took the words right out of my mouth, if I'm honest. You know, Mourinho he's a Chelsea fan, you know, and you know, he is going to leave a legacy. I mean, I'm reading comments here. One guy said Mourinho won't leave a legacy, will he? He's never developed any young players. Well, Rafael Varane, he's developed a player there, and he's left a mark in Madrid and in Spanish football, because he's still talked about. And so he does leave legacies. And you know, he's going to develop the squad. You know, and like Tony's saying, it's long term. You know, we look at him and we're going, you know what, this guy knows what he's doing. And like whenever I remember saying in the videos earlier, you know, where I had an issue. You know, I don't think Falcao's going to do this, but you know, I trust Mourinho. He obviously knows what he's doing. And you know, like Tony's saying, he's untouchable. You know, you can just go, right, this is what I'm doing, and we'll go, okay, we're trusting you. I don't think you could do that with any other Chelsea manager in the past. Maybe Carlo Ancelotti, but I mean, since Roman Abramovich has come in, you know, that he did leave that lasting effect. And like Daniel was saying, his philosophy was still there when we won the Champions League. It was still there. He's the example of, you can't, you know, we the way we played, where it was, you know, we can't have all of the ball. We had so little and we still managed to win it. because
Exactly.
we worked really hard for it, and he will leave a legacy. I mean, put it this way, he completely changed the face of Portuguese football. The guy will do everything he can in his power to leave his legacy at Chelsea. He's left one at Porto, he's left one at Inter Milan, and he's left one at Madrid. Not in a normal sort of way. It's they talk of him with high expectations. They talk of him as you've done something wrong here. He left the mark, and that's what's important.
He ended the Barcelona streak, to be fair. So
Exactly.
Credit to him, even at Madrid, even though it didn't end well. But well, with Mourinho, even with Chelsea, his spine that he created ended the moment he came back. As soon as he came back to Chelsea, was the literal end of his first spine at Chelsea, which shows you the legacy, the sort of team he left behind when he left. But bringing up when he left, and I want to bring a date to all of you, and this is what I want to focus on for the remainder. The 20th of September 2007 is the date I want us to go back to. Was the day he left Chelsea and the day he was sacked, or they parted by mutual consent. Just give me your thoughts on that day, because there's already a few Chelsea fans who are bringing up what happens if he leaves and he has the chance of not finishing the season. I just want us to realise what we actually have. Now, the first time he left in 2007, what was your emotion? Because as far as I'm concerned, it was the worst day as a Chelsea supporter. Was the day he left. I don't know about you guys, but Tone, what was your emotion on that day?
Absolutely gutted, totally gutted. And actually, if you cast your mind back, I'm just trying to think of the name of it now. We bought out almost a film DVD out.
Blue Revolution.
Blue Revolution, wasn't it? That's right. And if I remember rightly, the night before, they had the event, didn't they, where they all went to see it, what they call it, like the first viewing sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it was really sad, when that came out, because it kind of went back through the whole period of time that he was with us. And I don't know, I felt absolutely, totally and utterly numb, because, he'd achieved so much. He won us our first title for 50 years, he basically, he gave us all that total and utter belief, didn't he? We were Chelsea, but we'd done it with style and we were up there. And you're absolutely right, Eunice. I mean, you could argue after he left, it was his team. All right, there were different managers, but you're right. His team went on to win a double. I know Ancelotti won the double, but the Champions League, the Europa League, I mean, that spine was his spine. That was his side. So you could argue that Mourinho done the whole 10 years, albeit that he wasn't the manager, because it was the Mourinho team. But no, I remember, I honestly, even watching that DVD, that DVD, it's really sad, when you because it was all the inside story, wasn't it? And you saw him sort of going through all the whole emotions, and especially the games against Liverpool, and fantastic DVD. If anyone hasn't seen it,
it's a brilliant DVD.
Brilliant DVD, and it really gives you an insight into the relationship he had with the players, obviously back then, and it was all. I used to watch that with a complete tinge of sadness, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But no, I felt absolutely numb at the time. Totally gutted, and always wishing and hoping and campaigning for him to come back.
Yeah.
And when we had the opportunity, and there was all the sort of, he was coming, to the end of his time at Madrid, and there was a lot of hinting, wasn't there, about a place that's very special in my heart, and don't rule out somewhere where I've been before, and there was a lot of flirting, weren't there, with, I believe, Abramovich, and they bought him a watch, didn't they?
Yeah, he did,
yeah, and everything else, and obviously, we had the whole Benitez situation and everything else. Obviously, we're just hoping and praying, absolutely praying, that he would return, and Hull City, that first game, I mean, I got in.
Incredible.
I get in the stadium around about 20 minutes before.
Yeah.
Sort of take my seat. But I remember that particular game. I was in really early, just buzzing. I was just buzzing, absolutely buzzing. I was, and yeah, I mean, we're very, very fortunate because the funny thing about it, if you look at the opposition, especially our haters, they hate Mourinho, but you know what? Deep down, they like him, they admire him. You can't not admire a winner, and he's a winner. And so many times they'll go, you know what? They're not in good form. We've got Chelsea next. Oh, they got Mourinho. Listen, secretly, right? They'd all love him to be in control or managing their club. And I don't want to bring up the Arsenal one again, but let's put it this way: if he'd been manager of Arsenal, they'd have been champions 3 or 4 times in the last 10 years. And that's how good the man is, right? Yeah. He's an exceptional manager, and we should all be very grateful, really, that we've got him at our club. And I know at times he comes out with a few things, and sometimes you think, oh, does he really need to say that? And the whole Eva thing, and you think, oh, for goodness sake. And listen, the man's an absolute genius. I come from the world of sales, and for me, he's classic textbook sales manual. He is, because he's a people's person. Yeah, I mean, you speak to all ex-professionals; they all got fantastic things to say about him. Look at Didier Drogba. He didn't really even want to come to Chelsea, and then all of a sudden he saw Mourinho, and what did he say?
In the pocket.
It's in the bag. It's in the bag, and that's the influence of the man. If Mourinho gives you a bit of praise, like you mentioned Lampard, listen, mate, you're the greatest. I mean, but he does everything for a reason. That's one of my favourite sayings, and he does everything for a reason. He says everything at the right time. You think, oh, why is he doing that? Why is he saying that? He says things at the right time to take the pressure off his players.
Yeah.
The guy is class, I tell you. Listen, we've got who everybody wants, and don't worry about it. He's going to be around for a long time.
Quality. Daniel, do you say that? What was your emotion when he left?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it was a heartbreaking day. It was a very surprising one, although the results at the start of that season, I remember losing, I think, to Villa away, and the Champions League game, of course. But just want to wrap this up quickly because I know you have to go, Eunice. But I think what Jose has done this time with Chelsea, I think, is a brilliant achievement, coming in the summer of 2013. And changing that whole squad under 2 seasons with the FFP restrictions, with the signings he's made, and turn them in 2 years to take over from Man City and Man United, who, let's be honest, in my opinion, I thought it was going to be so tough to overtake, and to do what we did last season was quite amazing. So Jose, the players he's brought in, the philosophy he's brought around, the fact that he's developed a player like Eden Hazard, and also John Terry, what he's done to help John Terry get back to his best. And last season, the past 2 seasons were competing, and probably maybe even been better than this when we thought he was in his prime. So that's remarkable for the man, and also the fact that his big game record is just amazing. And that's what he leaves. That's what he's brought to Chelsea, is this big game mentality. All right, we haven't had a good start to this season, but there's still that in there, and that team there that we're seeing at the moment, who are not in great form, still has that in there. And I believe that just with a few tweaks and players coming back into form, we can still have a great season. So, and I'm still right behind Jose, because he's the best manager in the world, and he's our manager for a reason.
Awesome. Louis, do you share that as well?
Yeah. Chelsea have Jose as a manager for a reason, and the guy is, he, like Tony's saying, he's a people's person. And I mean, if you think about the way he came to everyone's attention, just think about that for a sec. That touchline sprint at Porto. I mean, let's just think about him and not Chelsea for a minute.
Yeah.
The way he announced himself to the world, and he was there to say, look, I'm here to do something. And then the way he announced himself to the English press, I am the special one. And I remember what I watched the other day, the thing that ITV did a couple of years ago when it was still at Madrid.
Yeah.
I watched that the other day, And you know, Ferguson say, you know, he's a cheeky bugger, but you know, he said, you know, we were playing catch up all the time because the guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
The guy has that mentality, and you know, the way he interacts with his players, you know, because he wasn't an ex-player, because he came up as, you know, a translator, then he became a coach, then he became his own man, and he stepped out on his own.
Yeah.
He has a player's passion and a manager's brain, and that's hard to come by.
Very.
The guy, how many other managers do you see other than, you know, people like Di Canio who have passion for football, who do, you know, touchline sprints, you know, knee slides, hugging his players, you know, the guy, and you know, properly going in with them. You do not see that, and Mourinho is something special, and I think we'd be stupid to let him go.
No, fair play to you for that. I want to obviously, because we have to end it very, very soon for today, but tomorrow will be a much, much more longer episode. I do want to end it on the fact that, look, we let him go once. We went through, you know, complete death. You know, it was just a really bad time for all Chelsea fans, a really a big tormented time for Chelsea fans. We've got him back, and we're lucky to have him back, because I'm sure any of his old clubs would want him back. Madrid tried to get him back and he refused. I think we should just be grateful that we've got him for a second time. And as we've said, he's the best manager in the world. We can't complain. He's here for the long term. Let him build his legacy at Chelsea, and I'm sure we will win every single trophy that there is available to win. So he's one of us. He's the special one. Let's back him, and let's get this mentality out that he's just going to leave once again after 3 years, because this time he is here for the long term, and all of us at 100% Chelsea promise all of you that. So there we are. Again, thank you for watching. It's a shorter episode today. I do apologise, but please let us know if you think. I've seen a few comments saying probably an hour is the best amount of time we should do for Daily Blues. Please let us know. What time do you think it should go on for? You know, how long it should go on for? And we will acknowledge that in your comments. But please follow all of these guys on Twitter. Tony is at 100% Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm sorry I haven't replied to no one today. I've just been too, you know.
Yeah.
One of them, right? You know. Sorry.
We hope you get better anyway. And Daniel at Son of Chelsea, his YouTube channel, Son of Chelsea as well. Louis is at Louis the Boogaloo. Check all those out. Check out the social media links in the description below. And all of us will see you tomorrow for a longer Daily Blues and another topic in mind. So thank you for watching, guys. See you all tomorrow. Take care, and you guys can sign us.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
See you guys.